everybody, back. Got a little update from the bench. Here we go, rock and roll. How y'all like that opening? That opening, shout out to Salty Ron and Bart Hergy. Did a really cool clip there. So I don't know if I said that, but thanks, Bart. Thanks for what you did there. It's been a busy month. May was exciting. Went to Abilene to the Western Heritage and saw some old friends. I hadn't been there 35 seconds, and I walked in and I saw an old friend, one of my first childhood friends, Tater Sanders, and then there was Clay Walker, and then there was Twister Lewis, and they're all old childhood friends, and it was just great to see them. So shout out to those guys. It was really cool. And then of course all my other buddies that are there, and me and Amy, the youngest daughter Amy, we got us a new hat, and we had a lot of fun. So that was a good time. Been a busy month in the shop. I'm gonna show you all my TCA stuff, which that did not happen all in May. That's what all this back row is. We'll get to it in a minute, and then I got another deal. My TCA stuff started in November. I've been working a week along every month, plugging away at it. So it's been an endurance race to say the least. But deadline's coming up into June at the museum, and so we'll talk about all that in a minute. Let's talk about pieces that I've created. Now, I'll probably start in reverse here. Here's a buckle, no tip, 1.5 inch buckle. Got some steel engraving, got some gold on it. And this goes to you're gonna see an awful lot of this. The month of June is dedicated to it as well. So I got that. And then I got these buckles, so they're for 1.5 inch belts. Got floppers on them. Nice little French grade, 10-karat gold. Sterling silver overlays right here, the little beads. Kind of fun. Those are belt buckles, and I'm in the process of making 12 more. So that'll be June, from the bench in June. Here's a cool deal. Now we can't show the initials. They're a surprise. They're a gift. Oh, sure can't show the brand either. Did you see the brand? No. Did they see the brand? My camera girl, Macy Jules, my camera girl.
Why is it showing that?
She's giggling about this.
I have to block it out.
She says, edit. No, we're not editing. Look at it, I'm blocking it all out. They can't see anything but my grubby thumbs. But anyhow, this is kind of a fun pair of Spurs for sure. And it's for a really close friend, so that all makes it special. Sneak preview, you didn't get to look, huh? Don't look, got that hidden. Now right here, we'll start on TCA stuff. This goes to my friend Cary Schwarz, a couple keepers. That's the extent of my help on his project. He's doing, well, I'll let him tell you about it. It's a fun deal, and it's fun to work with guys like Cary and get to be a part of their creations. But this was a fun deal. He wanted a square, pretty tight shape on the inside for a 3/4 belt to go through, but then soften the corners and kind of make some nice round deal. And with steel, you can have fun and play and have a good old time. So anyhow, let's come up here close. Make sure these brands are hid up, all that. But here's my TCA pieces. I had Bart Hergy in and Salty Ron earlier in the week, and we did some videos on all these pieces. This piece right here is what we'll call an encore piece. It's a revisit. I made this bit for the 2023 show, but I gave it a bit of an facelift. I changed his colors, put some makeup on it. It's always been there, but the original one that was in the show was French grade, and so I niter blued this one and then French grade the leaves, and I think we upgraded it. I think it's got a little more pizzazz, a little more power. It's fun and exciting. It's a Jim Edwards Futurity shank and a Greg Darnell high port mouthpiece. So you know what we're all the time playing. It's all been done before, part of the history, and those are two men that were very important in my career. So shout out to them. This right here is a pair of Spurs that I call the Texas Cattle Drive Spurs. This brand right here was my great-great-grandfather's on my mother's side. The paternal side of my mom, and then this was her maternal side of my great-grandfather. This man was in Alpine, Texas, settled down there, and this one right here was in and in between Sheffield and Ozona. That's where their place was. And this brand right here is my dad's. So shout out to old Pop and all that business. And then here's the TCAA logo, Longhorn sculpted Longhorn skulls that I did, and then the yellow rose of Texas. And I'm calling those guys my Texas Cattle Drive Spurs. Over here we got the Deadman's hand bit. Deadman's hand bit sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? But Wild Bill Hickok was killed holding aces and eights and an unknown card in his hand playing poker. August 2nd, 1876, I found out. But anyhow, so this is a little story there. And Texas tradition, solid shank, a little hand forged mouthpiece. Kind of similar to this one over here. Similar to that guy, just a little bigger stock and able to put a little more square corner on there and stuff like that. Uh-oh. A domino effect going over here at the belt buckles. And then this piece right here is this is my major piece, one that took the most time and most effort to go about. And as my camera lady Macy Jules said, Dad, that's pretty modern looking. Well, it is, and that's kind of my characteristics. That's kind of what I like to push the envelope. It's a very traditional circle Santa Barbara bit. That's what Al Tejan called it. So it's a very old traditional shank, but with this inlay and ribbon and gold and silver and the dots and everything I have going on there, it's pretty elaborate and pretty contemporary, to say it out there. So I enjoyed that. That's fun and exciting for me. Oh, then the last little deal here, I got my herd of longhorns, the barbecue skewers. So these are all forged out. This top part right here, it's all one piece of metal. I welded the bottom part on, but that all top piece is all forged out. Sculpting in steel with a hammer and hot metal has always scared me. But I have to tell you, this was really fun. Now, just like any herd of longhorns, every one of them is a little unique. I did kind of make them in pairs, and so these two guys are similar. Maybe these two guys are similar. These two guys are similar and those two guys are similar, but it's all kind of fun and exciting. I really enjoyed this project. Got our logo there. Nice little hanging deal, so it'll hang cool on the wall. Maybe do some pretty good little barbecue things. Anyhow, at the podcast is rocking and rolling for you guys. That's a fun and exciting way. We had my dad on this last week. And if y'all haven't listened to it, you got to go to it. Pop was busy in the middle of an art conversation, and sure enough, his chair flipped over backwards, reared up on him. Couldn't see anything but the bottom of his feet. But he never missed a beat. He kept on going. So the podcast is always exciting. And if you're seeing this on social media, sign up for the newsletters. And you can go to my website and sign them up. We send this out on a newsletter every once a month. I'm not going to bombard your inbox with a whole bunch of emails, but it's a guaranteed way to see this and stay updated with what's going on. If you're, and that'll be YouTube. So I also have the YouTube channel. Don't post a lot of stuff. This will be on the YouTube. So that's where you'll see it off the newsletter. See it on social media. Thank you for following. Thank you for pushing like, and we will see you next month. Stay in touch. Adios.